So it's basically the world we live in.
Recently on Netflix, we all had the chance to watch Season 3 of Black Mirror, and while the show has had solid roots on Channel 4 in the UK, it feels like it's finally getting the big-time recognition it deserves. After finishing the latest season and rewatching the first two, I felt compelled to make a video outlining exactly why Black Mirror is awesome. I have to kick this off with a wee love letter of sorts to the creator of the show, Charlie Brooker. If you haven't seen his presenter-led shows such as Screen Wipe or How TV Ruined Your Life, then for God's sake, do so. Not only are they hilarious and entertaining, but it's a great insight into the viewpoints behind Black Mirror. What makes Brooker a charismatic host as well as a talented writer is that he clearly knows what the hell he's talking about. Brooker clearly has a great understanding of technology, social media, and gaming. So when these elements pop up in Black Mirror, they are always believable and make sense. For example, Brooker's knowledge about gaming allows him to set up a kind of discount Hideo Kojima in the episode Playtest, something which game fans will no doubt catch. Brooker's knowledge and wicked sense of humour is what gives Black Mirror its sense of absurdity, but also a thought-provoking edge. Actors and performances. Black Mirror's recent jump to Netflix means that the show has had some more star power behind it. Bryce Dallas Howard and Jon Hamm are some of the biggest names, but there's also a few faces that pop up before they were more well known. For example, the episode Be Right Back features Agent Carter's Hayley Atwell, as well as Ex Machina's Donald Gleason. On a tangent, Ex Machina is awesome, you should see that if you haven't seen it already. The episode The Entire History of You stars Toby Kebbell, which, on another tangent, please someone give Toby Kebbell a starring role in something that's good. He's a great actor and deserves a big break. But even with the lesser known actors, Black Mirror features a wealth of incredible dramatic performances. The monologue at the end of 15 Million Merits is just jaw-dropping, and the two leads in San Junipero are wonderful. On top of that, there's Kelly MacDonald, Rupert Everett, and this guy who keeps appearing in like House of Cards and like everything else. I have a feeling Black Mirror will become a kind of proving ground for many of tomorrow's next big stars. Absurdities and metaphors. Now, what some may perceive as a flaw in the series is the slight absurdity of some of the episodes, but in fact this is quite deliberate. Black Mirror is a show about society and people. It has big points to make, so it uses fictional worlds and setups to convey its messages. The show never pins down exactly when any of its stories take place. Some could easily be in modern day, while others could be in the far future. But the specifics of these premises is not what the focus of the show is. In the episode Nosedive, for example, people rate each other using their phones, which can affect their social status. Many would ask how exactly society got to this point, as one would assume it's set in the future. But another way of looking at it is simply, this is a world that works like this. The story itself is played as a satire, and so the details of its premise are secondary to everything else. The same goes for 15 Million Merits, White Christmas, and all other episodes similar to it. As Brooker himself put it, it's a show which is worried about the future. Being kind of a spiritual successor to The Twilight Zone means that a lot of its stories are allegorical of what might happen, possible futures that should be avoided or at least mended. The show hopes to be a self-preventing prophecy, like much of early 70s or 60s dystopian science fiction. All of it serves the thesis of the episode and works as an excuse for some truly unique imagery as well as dramatic devices. Technology is not the villain. What truly makes Black Mirror's stories all the more chilling is that technology itself is never to blame. It's an easy cop-out for many writers to just blame the phone or blame the robots, but Brooker takes a far more subversive and terrifying approach. The ultimate message behind Black Mirror is that technology has only amplified humanity. The far reach of the internet, social media, everything being recorded and so on, has given everyone a voice, everyone a detailed history, and everyone a new avenue to do dark and terrible things. Today's gadgets and websites takes all aspects of society and cranks them up to 11. True, some of the best aspects, but as the show explores, also the very worst aspects. Technology has given us all a superpower that we don't quite know how to properly control, and may never know how to properly control. The ultimate horrific realization is that all of the awful things, all of the people that suffer and sometimes die in the show, that's not technology's fault. That's our fault. Lasting impact. As I said before, Black Mirror is a show about people. Even when the episodes are a bit weaker, the stories and characters are always at least entertaining. They are slickly made and well directed. Time and time again it delivers emotional gut punches and shocking twists. If you didn't get at least teary-eyed during San Junipero, then you must be made of stone. If you didn't feel hurled into a pit of despair by the end of the entire history of you, then I don't know what to tell you about your mental state. These are stories which stay with you for a long time. Despite the temptation to binge watch on Netflix, I would actually recommend against that. The stories can sometimes have broad messages, but the finer details and implications of its themes are to be processed and discussed afterward. I spent a long time discussing in depth each episodes with my flatmate after we were watching them. Black Mirror is a show that makes you think. It's a show that stays with you in your mind and leaves you pondering long after the screen has gone black.